Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Sunshine, and in this video I want to share with you 6 tips of what to do when your children are driving you crazy or overstimulating you, or you just feel very overwhelmed in the present moment and you do not want to take your anger out on your kids or your frustration out on your kids. I think that these 6 tips will help you. Some moms are more patient than others. Some can handle all of the craziness, but there are times for us mamas when there's just a lot going on and you have a million things going on at once. You have this kid screaming, this one crying, this one hanging on to you like a leech, this one is asking for food, this one wants water, this one hurt their sibling. You're like juggling dinner and you're trying to do all the things and you're frustrated and you've had a long day. There's just a lot going on sometimes, and we want to prevent taking our anger and frustration out on our kids. We want to just calm down and relax and bring a more gentle, relaxed, calming approach, because our kids will follow what we do, and it is not in their best interest to drive us crazy. After all, they just have a lot of needs, and it's up to us to meet those needs in a reasonable way. So I am here to give you 6 tips of what to do when you feel very overstimulated, very overwhelmed, very stressed in a situation with your kids. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1, breathe. So many people have recommended that deep breathing actually helps to counteract all of the stress hormones. Usually what you do in the situations when you are stressed, overwhelmed, overstimulated, you tend to have more of those shallow breaths. What we want to do is take a deep breath, and by getting more oxygen into our lungs, oxygen into our brain, more oxygen to our body, it actually, by deep breathing, helps relax you, helps you not feel as stressed, and it could literally help in the moment. By deep breathing, you actually can calm your senses, and it helps bring a more relaxed approach, and you are more than likely to come back to the situation a lot more calming and welcoming. Number 2, go to another room. I would say completely separate yourself, if you can, from the situation. Just move away, whether that be your bedroom or a bathroom. And if it can be safely away from your kids, I would recommend that. So for an example, when this worked for me, my son was in his chair and my daughter was in her high chair strapped, and they were perfectly fine. I was really overwhelmed. The baby was crying. My daughter wanted more of something, and I was trying to make dinner. It was like 25 minutes and there was so much going on. It was a stressful day. You know, you don't feel like you're doing your best that day, and you want to scream. Everything in you wants to just like let it out. Well, don't. If you can avoid screaming at your kids at all costs, please do it. But if you end up screaming at your kids and all of that, I would always recommend to go back to them and apologize and make it right. You can avoid it at all costs. That's what we want to do. So you want to remove yourself from the situation, go into another room, and just breathe again. But I think just like having a different scenery, a different view, like, okay, I'm in my room, this is different. You just like walk away. You can't really hear them so much. Just for the moment, just for like a minute or 2 minutes, you know, at best, and then going back to the situation. You're happy, they're happy, everything's fine, everything's back to normal, just because you had a minute to yourself. Because sometimes us mamas need a minute to ourselves. Usually that is when we're going to the bathroom, but sometimes we don't even have time to do that. So if you just make a minute for yourself to just go away when you're feeling very overwhelmed, yes, you are leaving them for a minute, but they're gonna be fine. And as long as you are making yourself more relaxed, more calm, cool, collected, you can come back to the situation and be healthier for them, and they will be happier at the end of the day. Number 3, water. Drink water. This is one article I read, and I'll try and link it down below, but it basically says that dehydration leads to anxiety, and by not hydrating yourself enough, you essentially do not have enough blood flow to your brain, your hormones cannot like properly get to their destination, which can cause outbursts like anxiety and depression or stress for sure. And sometimes, especially if you're a mama, a busy person, you are breastfeeding or whatever the case may be, sometimes you are dehydrated and you don't even know it. And so just go drink some water, take a drink, and when you think that you have drunk enough, drink some more. You're not gonna drown yourself. Just drink enough to where you feel hydrated, you feel better, and I think that in those moments as well of stress, this can really help. Obviously, it will help if you drink enough water all throughout the day. That will keep your levels maintained. But if in the moment you realize, oh my goodness, I am overwhelmed, I can't take this anymore, and it's, you know, a lot going on or whatever, think back to when you last drank water or nourished your body. When you nourish your body with the right nutrients, with enough water and the minerals and everything that your body needs, you're happier, you're healthier, you're more calm, you are more stress-free, and you can enjoy it better, and it'll be better for you, your kids, and everybody around. So drink water, make sure that you stay hydrated. Number 4 also kind of goes along with number 2, but it is essentially going outside. This you can do with your kids, you can do by yourself. So a lot of times when you're just cooped up in your house and it is like kids have just been inside all day, even if it's a rainy day, I 100% suggest go outside because it is amazing. You see something bigger than yourself. Like the kids will love it. I mean, it works every single time. The fresh air, sometimes you just need a different scenery. So that's why with number 2, going to another room can really help to get your mind and your focus off of that grind and all of the stuff that's going on and filling up in your mind. Sometimes it can really help to offload your mind with some of those things if you go into another place. And one of those places is definitely outside, going outside, getting the fresh air, even if it's a rainy day. The sunshine, of course, definitely brings so many health benefits, including helping your mood, helping your stress levels, and everything like that. So I definitely recommend that, and the kids will love it. Number 5 may take a little bit more time, but not per se. It just depends on your situation. You go into another room, even if you do it right where you are, but again, you've got a lot going on. The kids, you know, are driving you nuts. Grab a piece of paper, write down 10 things that you are thankful for, and then write down 5 things that you love about that said child. You can read it, you can say it out loud. You are bound to go back to the situation so much happier than you left, and your kids will appreciate you for it as well. It's just like taking that time to reflect and remember that they are beautiful human beings. There's so much to be thankful for. And yes, there are issues and problems that come up, and sometimes it's just overwhelming, overstimulating, and sometimes our brains just fill up to here and we just don't know how to handle it all. But just to take a break, write down what you are thankful for can really help to calm you down, bring you back to what is important and what is true about yourself, because it's not true that you're a bad mom. It's not true that you are a bad person. It's not true that you are a crazy person. You have a lot going on. You have a lot of needs to meet, but just take the time to sit down and remember all of the beautiful things. I've loved this. This has worked really well, and it always just makes me happier when I take that time to do that. I know that if you set up your days right by writing things down, what you're thankful for, that can really help set you up for success and happiness and stress-free throughout the day when you really get your mind set on the good things and what you're thankful for. That goes along with number 6, which would be to pray. If you are a spiritual person, I highly recommend that if you pray, the Lord will help in whatever you ask him for, whatever situation it might be. And you can even pray right there in that moment. You could even bring your kids into the moment. A bonus one. So this is one that my sister-in-law recommended to me, and I started implementing it, is singing and turning on some music. So I have loved music my entire life, but never really put the 2 and 2 together when I had kids and rough days, that hey, if you turn on some music, it can lighten the mood. Lo and behold, I turned on some music and the mood completely shifted, and everybody all of a sudden got happy and was joyful. I mean, the moment I turn the music on, it's just like a bright house up in here, and we love it. It lightens my mood, it lightens my children's mood, and it definitely works out a lot. So it's a bonus one that I highly recommend. And that is it for the 6 tips that I have for what to do when you are stressed with your kids, overwhelmed, overstimulated, however it might be. I hope these tips helped. If you have done any of them in the past, or if you try any of them and if it has worked for you, let me know down below. And if you have any other ideas on what to do in those type of situations, please let us know down below. I'm sure some other moms would love to hear from you as well and what has worked for you. So that's it, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.